why not sit back and relax and take 2021 easy like a Sunday morn? I'm your host, Shane Lockwood. This is episode 86, I believe, of Easy Like a Sunday Morn, and it is December 31st, 10:15 p.m. And I'm just recording this as a way of saying thank you to everybody who listens to the podcast and for everybody who supports it via Patreon. Without that, and I know it sounds cliche, you hear it a lot, but without that, I'd be operating in a loss, and I do want to be doing more podcast episodes for those guys as well. Thank you very much for your support. 2020 has been a real shocker of a year, but what we're going to do is we're going to let go of last year, 2020, and well, it's this year still, but you know what I mean. By the time you listen to this, it will probably be next year. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit back and relax, maybe with our favorite beverage. You might be in a sofa, a chair, armchair, or couch, or whatever you want to call it. You might be at a kitchen table. You might even be in bed. It's probably a bit early to be in bed, but a lot of people can go to bed early on New Year's Eve. And we're going to just close our eyes, and maybe you've got a favourite beverage or two as well. Wow, fireworks. Let's just start it early. That's what happens when you live in suburbia. People can't count. Anyway, we're going to let go of all the distractions and dramas and all the nonsense of 2020. We're going to take a big deep breath in. You've got to breathe out again. Out. And in again. And then out. Through the mouth. We'd be breathing in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. I'm not going to edit this the way that I normally would. I'm on a bit of a time crunch. But I do hope that people had a fantastic Christmas and that the New Year's celebrations are what everybody wants them to be, and everybody arrives home safe and nobody's drink driving, and there's no accidents, and it's all just smooth, and everybody transitions into 2021 nice and safely. Having said that, do enjoy yourselves and all that sort of stuff. Just maybe have a glass of water in between each wine or spirit that you're or beer or whatever it is that you're drinking. Just go easy on the nibbles and all that sort of stuff. Well, I don't want to see you in the hospital, and I don't want to see you in the gym on January the 2nd, because we know that's where people are going to be. The gyms are going to be full in the first week of January. The people have got their New Year's resolutions happening. I personally don't do New Year's resolutions. I do have a very loose set of goals, many of which were just shelved and pretty much destroyed this year because of COVID-19. But I've been able to do a whole lot more because of the stimulus packages and things like that. I had people unfriend me because I mentioned stimulus packages and the fact that it was your tax dollars being shared around again and given back to you because there were lockdowns and you cannot generate an income. There were people who were so selfish that they would rather see me die than get a stimulus package. How evil is that? But I need to let that go. I need to let that go. People like that are not worth it, not worth my time, not worth my effort, not worth my thoughts. And neither are those people in your life that seek to control you, seek to put you down when your basic survival is threatened. I do hope that wherever you are hearing this, that you are wearing a mask and adhering to social distancing. And my government has imposed these QR codes in every shop. So whenever you visit a shop, you have to put in QR codes, and then you are tracked for contact tracing purposes, so that if you are found to have had been infected with COVID-19, which is asymptomatic. It's asymptomatic. That means you can have it and then not know. And people are waiting until they get symptoms to get tested. And I'm hoping that wherever you are wearing a mask, you are social distancing, and you are using hand sanitizer. Just be very, very careful. There's a lot that happened this year that was like rather negative and horrible, but there's a lot of positive stuff. There's a few things that I've wanted for a long time, like Red Dwarf merchandise. I finally got my own little Starbug and Red Dwarf combo toy thing, and I got a little Starbug by itself, and just in case I ever wanted to open it, but I don't think I will. And there's a few Star Wars things. Hasn't the Mandalorian been absolutely fantastic? I will not spoil the end of season 2. For those who haven't seen it, probably most of you will have known all about that ending, or not even the ending. It was like 3/4 of the way through, and then just kept going and going and going, and it was just absolutely fantastic. I will not spoil it, but I will say that I waited 36 years to see that scene and that character. So if you know, you know, and I'm not going to spoil it. For those of you that don't know, one of the saving graces, the one thing that saved my sanity, and I would go as far as saying saved my life, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but was a program or an app called TikTok. It's a social media app where people can share videos, stitch them together, duet with other people, and leave comments, and people can do video responses to those comments, and you can add stickers and text and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But it's a community of people that is very, very diverse. Those of the infinite gender spectrum, what are they called? Oh, the alphabet mafia, I think they're called. Those who are LGBTQIA+, I hope I got that right, and those who are black or indigenous to Australia, to America, to anywhere in the world. There's just so many diverse cultures and people with disabilities with a voice, people speaking out about all sorts of social issues, and all sorts of, well, some of the stuff, the content can be quite horrible. There's a lot of bullying on there, and there's people claiming to be shadow banned and things like that, and spam liking. And there's the weird thing about TikTok is it has its own language almost. It's starting to develop and invent new words and things added to the lexicon. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I've got like over, I think it's 1,940 followers on TikTok, and I've had something like 19,000 likes on my videos, and it's incredible. It really is. And now there are people that have been there less time than me that have got millions of followers and all that sort of stuff. But I'm there for the social aspect now, whereas before, at the beginning of the year, when COVID struck, there was a lot of anti-Chinese sentiment on Facebook. Like I mentioned before, there was the woman that unfriended me just over stimulus packages, and there was people spouting just racist crap, and I just needed to get away. But I found that there was no outlet, there was nowhere where I could express myself. So I just went into a deep depression and just thought, well, I might as well just stay here and just watch TikTok, at least the short form entertainment, because the videos on TikTok can range from, well, you've got an option of recording a 15-second video or a minute-long video, but you can record any video in between, any length in between. The maximum is 60 seconds. So it's a short form video. So people were doing dance videos, and then there's political stuff, and I watched the world implode on Facebook and Twitter and all this other social media, whereas with TikTok, people were speaking out and saying, no, this is the truth, this is what's going on. And a certain president of a certain country tried to ban TikTok, which you should not be trying to stifle freedom of speech. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful things going on with TikTok, but yeah, so if you want to find out where my TikTok account is, it's at the Shane Lockwood. That's the at symbol, THESHANELOCKWOOD. Feel free to follow and leave a comment and all this sort of stuff. And I met up with a whole heap of new friends on the platform, people with similar views, people with different views, people with different race doesn't exist, but different genetic backgrounds, different religious ideas, and all sorts of weird and wonderful things on there. There's all, imagine every subdivision of humanity represented in the one space, and it is diverse. It is infinitely diverse. People that are non-binary, people that are gender fluid. There's people that are asexual. There are people that are a little bit too promiscuous. I'll put it that way. There's all sorts of people on there, and yeah, it's a fantastic little app. It steals all your data though, steals all your personal information, but every single social media platform does that. I do have some bad news in a way. The gum tree at the back of my property in the car park is considered, what do you call it? Is it considerable? Or, yes, considerable of size to the point where the Salisbury Council will not cut it down. And every now and again, it just decides to, when it's hot enough, because this is what gum trees can do, they will extract all of the water from their branches and store it back into the bottom of their trunks when it gets hot enough. At about 36 degrees Celsius, they will do this. And when they do this, the limbs of the branches just fall off. And it's quite incredible. It's incredible. Anyway, this is the second time in 2 years that a branch has fallen from that gum tree and smashed my clothesline. Thankfully, it didn't smash my fence like it did last time. Completely demolished it. Completely demolished the clothesline last time. This time, it just bent the clothesline. Apparently, the Housing Trust have they're sending someone out. So they've sent somebody out to look at the damage, and then the company has rang me, and they're going to organise people to come out sometime in the new year, very early in the new year, to just basically get a chainsaw and cut up the tree. But I'm hopefully that the people that are going to come to replace the clothesline will do that in short order as well. What else? I was skirting around the issue that a close relative of mine had been accessing a conspiracy website, and I won't say the name of the website and I won't say the name of the relative, but they've been accessing the website itself exclusively, right, for the last year. And their view of the world is completely skewed. It's got nothing to do with reality anymore. But it's created a political divide to the point where I don't discuss politics here on this particular podcast. I might mention bits and pieces here and there. But as a general rule, it's not about pushing any particular side of politics, because my opinions are subject to change when there's new information. I hope that makes sense. So I don't like to cling to individual parties or policies or ideas. It's just, are they good ideas or are they bad ideas? And that's where I stand. But but where I draw the line is when people twist reality itself and just try to gaslight me into saying, oh, no, you're wrong, when I know the truth. I can Google the truth. I can Google multiple sources of the truth. This is the first thing you learn when you go to university. I'm not bragging or boasting. If I had my time at university again, I would have done it very, very differently. I would have picked different subjects. But the first thing you learn is the Harvard referencing system, because you have to cite your sources. And those sources need to be legit. They can't just be blog posts. They need to be legit. And they can't be Wikipedia either. Or back then they couldn't be. So that's a bit of a worry. So if I don't talk about politics when it's Christmas time, or whenever there's eventually happens to be a family gathering once COVID's over or whatever, then I won't be talking politics for a reason. For those of you who have been following my weight loss journey, I saw a doctor today, and I weigh 93 kilos, down from a beginning back in 2016 I was 119 kilograms, so I'm down to 93 kilograms. That's a grand total of 26 kilograms. I don't know whether you can actually hear fireworks in the background, but it's starting to interfere with the recording here. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoys their New Year's Eve, and the countdown continues. I had wanted to do more episodes and get over to the 100 episode mark before the end of the new year, before the start of the new year, and no, that hasn't happened. So what I'm going to do is leave it here, and what I'm going to do is leave you with the code word. For those of you who play along, the code word is just to let me know who listens to this all the way through, because I've heard people tell me my podcast was boring and all this sort of stuff, but the idea behind this podcast is about relaxation. So it's about slowing down. It's not about moving quickly, speaking quickly, trying to sell you something. It's about slowing down, relaxing, and letting go. I wish you all the best for 2021, and all the little things that I said before. Survive, go easy on the partying and stuff like that, but try and have a good time, but come back safe and all that sort of stuff, and take 2021 easy like a Sunday morning. The code word, for those who are listening right to the end, is the word powerful. POWERFUL. And if you could type that in anywhere that is listed in the show notes, that is the Facebook page or wherever you know me, and let me know that you've listened to the entire program. And also, once again, have a great 2021. And I'm screaming Jumanji at midnight.